Yes, the next is our discussions on types of radio stations. Okay, and we are on page number 50 of your textbook. The first type is amplitude modulation, or popularly known as AM. AM broadcasting is radio broadcasting technology which employs amplitude modulation transmissions. So that is what you have to remember, amplitude modulation transmissions. And it was the first method developed for making radio transmissions. Means radio transmissions, or the technology called radio, it evolved, or it began with amplitude modulation technology. Okay, and it is still used worldwide, primarily for medium wave transmissions and also for long wave and short wave radio transmissions. So that is there, still there, it is in use, still it is in use, and it started with this particular mode or this particular technology. For 50 years, starting in 1920s, AM flourished, the so-called in the so-called golden age of radio. However, by around 1970s and all, FM has become more popular because for the transmission of better clarity for music and all, FM became popular. This AM radio's audience have greatly shrunk due to the competition from FM radio, then digital audio broadcasting, DAB, satellite radio, HD, digital radio, and internet streaming. So with the emergence of all these things, you can say that amplitude modulation or AM radio, their audience diminished. And by 1990s, the most music stations switched from AM to FM, because of the better sound quality of FM. And this trend it began in America and slowly moved to other countries of Europe, and slowly FM channels exceeded AM channels. And today, speed broadcasting, such as all these talk and news channels, still prefer to use AM, while music channels are focusing more on, they are solely depending on FM. Okay. Then FM broadcast is essentially a local radio channel which with a reach of 70 kilometer radius from the place of transmission, and this broadcast provides crystal clear reception for the listener, and it is traditionally been used for airing music. Okay, so its focus is more on music. It was introduced in India in 1977, but it was not really popularized till 1992. And right now, in Kerala, we have 105 FM transmitters, including Kochi, Devikulam and Kannur stations. And the government of India has privatized FM broadcasting in country. Okay, another point which I have missed out in the slide. Okay, government of India has privatized FM broadcasting in the country. And private, we are all familiar with private FM radio stations like Club FM, Red FM, Radio Mango, and others are operating in India. Okay, so that is all about frequency modulation. Moving on to the next, that is community radio. Radio broadcasting is generally categorized into two. One is commercial and other one is public broadcasting. But you can say that community radio comes into the third category. Okay, so it's like a separate one, and it serves for specific geographic communities. Okay, it actually meets the demands of specific geographic communities. Community radio broadcast content that is popular and relevant to local and specific audience. Okay, who are often overlooked by the commercial broadcasters. When you are sending a message to through public broadcasting, or you can say through commercial broadcasting, then they will not they will not cater to the needs of that specific audience, or you can say local audience. So that is in fact being dealt by the community radio, and these stations are operated and owned by communities they serve. Market, that's an important point. Then Another thing is like many of these stations are generally non-profit and provide a mechanism for enabling individuals, groups, and communities to tell their own stories, to share experiences, and to become creators and contributors of media. Community radio has been built around the ideals of access and participation. It has access to everyone, and it actually includes, it participates, people from various strata of society. Modern community radio stations serve their listeners by offering a variety of content that is not necessarily provided by larger commercial radio stations, and community radio outlets carry news and information programming geared towards the local area. However, the internet's availability and popularity has encouraged many stations to reach out audience globally. Okay, now moving on to community radio stations in India. Indian government implemented a new community radio guidelines in November 2006, which permitted NGOs, educational institutions, and agricultural institutions to own and operate community radio stations. Community radio stations in India can have a coverage of approximately 12-kilometer radius, and according to Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, there were 148 operational community radio stations in India in 2013. And few names that you have to remember: one is like Anna FM, which is India's first campus community radio station, which was launched in 2004 in Anna University campus, Chennai. Then we have Sangam Radio, licensed to Deccan Development Society in Pastapur village, Andhra Pradesh. Is the first community-based radio station licensed to an NGO, okay, as distinct from campus-based radio, and it was launched in October 2008. Then we have so many community radio stations in Kerala. One is Ahalya Radio of Palakkad, then Hello Radio of Thrissur, then we have Hello DC of Thiruvananthapuram, then we have Global Radio of Alapura. No need to remember all those names. One name, and Mangalam Radio of Kottayam. Okay, one name of course that you can remember is like Radio Matoli, or stationed in Mandavadi, is one of the best community radio stations in Kerala. Okay, and it has completed 10 years of broadcasting in 2019. So that name you can remember. Otherwise, just remember one or two names and that's enough. Okay. Now, yes, that's all about the different types of radio, and one more is there which we'll discuss as a separate topic, and that is online radio or internet radio. We'll meet in another session. Till then, take care.